Hi there, Ayla Wolf here with the Healing Response YouTube channel. I am a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine and licensed acupuncturist practicing in Stillwater, Minnesota. And today I want to talk a little bit more about concussions. In some of my previous videos, I talked about the chronic pain phenomena that happens with concussions. And I've also touched upon the difference between post-traumatic headaches and migraines. In this video, I want to talk about traumatic neck injuries. And one of the reasons why I want to talk about that is because there is a lot of overlap in symptoms between a traumatic neck injury and a concussion. So let's just look at this overlap first. If somebody gets a traumatic neck injury, such as whiplash from a motor vehicle accident, that traumatic neck injury can trigger symptoms that include dizziness, nausea, motion sensitivity, even blurry vision, and issues with depth perception. Now, every single symptom I just mentioned can also happen from concussions. And so it's really important that when somebody has an injury, that there's an understanding of whether that injury and whether those symptoms are coming from a neck injury versus a head injury and a concussion, because those injuries do need different types of therapies and different treatment plans. And if both of them have happened, then both of them also need to be addressed. Because if you address one and not the other, the patient is not going to get better. And so in our practice, we pay really close attention to what we would call a functional neurological exam that pays close attention to the neck and whether or not different neurological tests change in their findings based on a patient's neck position, for example. So we get a lot of input in our exam to help us determine how much the neck injury might be playing into that patient's set of symptoms so that that particular aspect does not go untreated. And at the same time, we also really focus on doing a lot of neurological tests to determine what areas of the brain may have been affected by the concussion and develop treatment strategies around that as well. And so this is just a topic that I wanted to bring up because I do see in many cases people that have been in car accidents and maybe only got treatment for their physical pain or their musculoskeletal injuries, and their concussion essentially went untreated, and here they are down the road still suffering from concussion symptoms. I've also seen people that have had injuries to the neck alongside concussions, and once we really focus on the neck aspect, many of their symptoms, such as dizziness and nausea, for example, improve pretty quickly. So, as I mentioned, it's really important to keep this aspect in mind that both a concussion and a neck injury really need to be treated together in combination, and to understand that some of the symptoms people are having could be coming from one or both of these injuries. And then the other thing I want to talk about briefly is that if we're focusing for the moment on these traumatic neck injuries, there are a couple therapies that we use in our office that are very helpful and effective in healing these neck injuries, whether that's a whiplash or even herniated discs, injuries to the actual cervical spine. So we do a lot of acupuncture on the neck that can be very effective in treating neck injuries. We also use photobiomodulation through the use of lasers. And then we have herbal poultices, herbal patches that are very easy to apply. They stay on for 48 hours. And over the course of that time frame, it's delivering herbs through the skin transdermally in order to help heal the area. And we have specific patches based on whether we're dealing mostly with soft tissue injuries versus disc injuries or spinal injuries that involve the actual joints. So I just wanted to give you some information here on this important topic that we see very often in our clinic. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to call us at 651-323-0005, or you can send us an email at info@healingresponseneuro.com. And as always, our website is listed below as well. If you find this information valuable, please consider subscribing to our channel and forwarding this to anybody else who you know may be suffering from concussions or traumatic neck injuries. Thank you so much for listening.